Hello everybody, welcome to stream. We are here with SendouQ Season 4 finales. Finals. We got game 1 here up and ready for you guys. We got round 1. But before we get ahead of ourselves, I am joined here by the lovely Pat. Do come say hello.
Hello, Fufu. I'm so glad to be here. We have, the best teams in the scene, ready to fight it out. And you can say a team is good after it's won a tournament. These teams have been going through the SendouQ. They've been playing all season to show consistently how good they are. Now we're going to see in the last few games who is going to come out on top. And we're going to start with the group stage. 2 groups of 6 teams all going to fight each other in a round robin. And we're going to start by watching Lethal Company employees going against Motif.
It sounds like these guys are going to be getting to work very soon here. These rosters may have familiar players to you guys. And as you said, these players play tournaments here and there. They top tournaments. They get podium. And these two are not shy of that at all. You know, they're strong and they made it here for a reason.
Yeah, and it's 2 different ways of seeing competitive Lethal Company employees. They love pickups. They're 4 players that make pickups all the time to go into tournament, absolutely shred, and then change, go with different players again and again. Motif, very much an established team, but we don't need to introduce much more. They know how to play with each other. So now we'll see who does best. The team that knows how to adapt versus the team that knows how to play with each other just better, that is more specialized, I guess.
It's like you pick your battles here, but I do want to take a look at the map that we are going to be starting off with, because we are starting on Mahi Mahi zones. I believe it is all zones here. It is very much all zones. And Mahi Mahi, ever since that rework, has definitely grown in the charts. You know, the rework was a while back, but I mentioned it here and there because it's just, ever since those changes, Mahi Mahi has been a lot more of an enjoyable map to play, especially here on splat zones. You know, once the water comes down, it's even better. Your map is a lot more open. There's a lot more space to move. Personally, it's a favorite.
Yeah, and what I love is that lots of different weapons, lots of different strategies can really work on this map. Whether you go to the side with that long path that allows you to jump around with a lot of cover, or you can also drop to the other side and instantly be under the zone, but you're also instantly into the fight. This map, wide open spaces, cover, ledges, there's a bit of everything for everyone, and that's why I think lots of players consider it one of their favorite maps, because everybody's happy here. Everybody gets something in the result.
Oh, absolutely. It's just like, you'll get ledges, you'll get open. And honestly, I want to see if we're going to get any differences in comp here. We did just have balance changes, I believe. It was 2 days ago now. So Pencil got its paint nerfed a bit. I know Squeezer got its range nerfed a bit. 2 weapons that we would see here and there. And I wonder if we're still going to be seeing these pencils, or we're still going to be seeing Squeezers. Any weapon that got changes, if they're still going to be out of the, out on this field. And we're going to be fighting here very soon.
Yeah, you know, I've seen everybody say that these changes are very small, but they are very well targeted changes that affect a lot of the weapons that you see a lot. I mean, we see, here comes the pencil, the blasters, the squeezers. We see the weapons that are affected by these changes. A small change to 3 weapons in your composition, it adds up, and we'll see how these teams are able to adapt to that. Right now, Lethal Company employees are the first one to get around the zone, already getting in and pushing Motif away.
Yeah, these guys are getting to work, but unfortunately, Sign-Up's getting picked off right there. Looks like Motif is not shy of, moving forward, quickly forcing every member of Motif, Lethal Company employees to move back here as they're getting the zone. You can see them already trying to put a lot more turf on the floor, taking out that range blaster as well, which is going to be huge, allowing one of their bigger, ledge camp options to be gone. But Lethal Company employees already retaliating here, putting the whale out, getting picks. It's quite bloodshed here on the field.
Yeah, and the bloodshed is not stopping. Sign-Ups on the zone right now, able to paint, apply penalty for Lethal Company. They're in. They have the control now. It's their turn to try to stop things. But Vexen is on fire right now, getting in, already getting a pick, and allowing the rest of the team to go in. The Kraken, the defensive Kraken for Lethal Company, is going to stop that push and allow Lethal Company to get the lead right there.
Yeah, I love the displacement Kraken was able to bring here, allowing Lethal Company employees to get, I think 2 picks out of it just from that displacement alone. But Motif is bringing out these specials, bringing out everything to the field to try and find an opportunity here, because these points are ticking down in the favor of Lethal Company employees. You're going to be wanting to go here very soon, and just like that, the zone flipped in just an instant. You blink and you will miss it. Again, Motif moving forward once more as Lethal Company employees suffers a loss of 2 of their players. Motif is able to set up in a bit more of, like a defensive lockout position here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, right now both teams still looking at each other. No more penalty for Motif, but Lethal Company employees already running back in there and getting a few splats. Wait, they're not able to apply penalty yet. There's still a few more points for Motif. Very nice.
Yeah, you never know when those small amount of points are going to be coming in handy here if you're Motif. But right now, Motif is getting a little bit collapsed on here by the members of Lethal Company employees here, slowly taking their picks left and right here. So I love these strikes here from Henlo. There to make a lot of space, to displace and force members of Motif into the hands of Lethal Company employees. That was just a really great set of events there for Lethal Company employees. I love that. And they are almost done with their penalty points as well here, just having to hold this for a couple seconds. There you go. And honestly, if I were them, I'd be looking to try and knock this out.
Yeah, and the lock is pretty good for Lethal Company. They have a lot of players down onto Motif. Motif trying to get in. The Zipcaster is coming a bit late. Will it be enough? I'm able to paint. Oh, that's game number 1 for Lethal Company employees. Motif a bit behind, not that much though. It really was decided by a single fight there.
Yeah, because we saw that zone be contested by Motif. Like, that was a smidge away. Had that Zipcaster probably stayed alive for just a second longer, that zone might have just been flipped. Lethal Company employees did an amazing job at holding. Again, when they were chaining their specials there, especially those strikes that I mentioned earlier, they forced members of Motif where they wanted them, where they needed them, where they can get to them reliably and pick them off and just continue to hold up from there. From there, it was just, okay, it's a little bit of risk to try and knock this out, but it worked in their favor, sealing game 1.
Yeah, but that is just game 1. We have lots more game to go through. This is a best of 5, and now we're going to go on to Crab Leg Capital. Still for Splat Zones. This is a Splat Zone tournament. And yeah.
I love me crab leg capital zones. I know crab leg zones in particular isn't some people's favorites. Personally, I like the extra options we have here. While it is, technically that quote-unquote Tetris map that we see, throughout Splatoon 3, we have these grids to move in, we have these pits to move in. You're not just limited to 1 or 2 methods of attack on this map, and that's what I like about it. Again, we have that zone in middle. We're definitely going to be seeing these pencils out again, but I want to see if we're going to get any other picks or if these comps are going to be staying the same.
Hey, we could see a bit of change. We'll know when we get there, but as you said, we both backlines. we like these wide open spaces, someone on the grid that we can snipe. That's the dream, right?
Yeah, you see someone on the open, it's just like, oh, hey there, buddy. You just see the laser coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, but time to fight. By the way, that map was chosen by Motif. It's going to allow them to maybe get back in there. And honestly, given Red Shell zipcasters, this is such a good zipcasting map. Once you're able to zipcast through the grates, you really have a lot of freedom of movement and can change the game pretty fast.
Speaking of those grates, this also helps because Richard's on brush of all things. You can run through those grates just as fast. And we are already seeing the zone flip in the favor of Lethal Company employees right off the bat, but Motif is quickly trying to contest this here in center, waiting for these picks to come out. Oh, I heard that tab, but Richard coming in with a double, trying to make it a triple, getting picked off just there at the edge. But Motif now is in control of the zone once more, and it's looking to keep this lockout position here. We're already seeing SendouQ move a little bit to the right here, trying to find opportunity. Oh, with Azuka catching the blaster instead right here. Lethal Company employees are a little bit down here as they're just waiting for an opportunity to get back to that zone.
Yep, and it looks like Bazooka is going to find one. That's the opportunity for Lethal Company to move forward unless Red Shell has something to do about it. Lots of bombs flying. It looks like Motif are able to hold the zone. No penalty applied. That Kraken cannot paint. And the pencil is still trying to dodge things. Oh, a pick on the pencil by Kira right there. Motif still in control. They're looking at a quick KO Fufu.
Yeah, they're looking forward here. Honestly, just again, around 10 more seconds to hold, and Lethal Company employees have to get it together here. As they take two members of Motif down, this might be what they need here to flip the zone, and flipping it indeed. They do here, just barely. Motif has a crazy lead right now of 6 points. So Lethal Company employees has a chance. You know, they gotta hold this just as long as Motif did, or you know, add this up by the end here to take a lead. It's gonna be a lot here, but you know, anything's possible here.
Yep, the Kraken is trying to follow Red Shell, but Red Shell is much faster, way too fast to be chased by a Kraken right there. Lethal Company losing player after player, and Motif are back in control now. I mean, I guess why they chose to go onto this map, it's really working for them.
Yeah, it seems like they are really in their element here, especially with the way they've been playing around these ledges, playing around with these picks. It's like they know this map like the back of their hand, and I love to see it right here. It looks like the Lethal Company employees are going to be coming in, trying to take the zone once more. You know, the more penalty points you can apply onto Motif, the better. You know, you don't want them to have the zone, and they're doing a great job right now as they took three members off of Motif. Again, giving them the same song and dance that they gave to them here, throwing bombs, putting themselves in that lockup position. The longer you can hold this, the better. Their penalty points are almost out, and there they go. Points now being ticked down.
Yeah, and this is where we see Lethal Company when they are in control, when they are in position. SendouQ with that wall able to stay up there, forcing all of Motif to look at them. And it's working. They're still here. They're still forcing a lot of attention. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. 22 points left, but Motif able to apply penalty again, able to get a lot of splats. That's going to be a jump out for SendouQ. And that's Motif back in control. 1 minute and 40 seconds left for Lethal Companies to come back. But at least they showed that they were able to hold the zone when they can.
What I've noticed is that when Motif's Zipcaster starts coming out on the field, they absolutely utilize that distraction game that Red Shell brings onto the field, and I think that's what brings in their quick retakes there, and I love to see it. But before I get ahead of myself there, it looks like Lethal Company employees, nope, it's gonna flip right back in the favor of Motif just as fast.
Lethal Company cannot catch a break on this map. They lose another player. SendouQ jumping away. It's just a pencil left to keep their spawn safe, as all of Motif are simply trying to keep the fight ahead of the zone. Lethal Company really struggling to get in the hand low. Still trying to get there, still trying to paint that zone now with the tactical up. They are fighting for it. They're very close. No more penalty. Motif able to... Oh, they got it.
Yeah, the power of pencil here, even despite these nerfs, it's still got a good chunk of pain here. And the rest of the company employees are jumping in as well. Again, they're reaching some of their last opportunities to try and take this lead. They have to hold us pretty much all the way through, I think, if they want to take this lead right here. If they can get, honestly, it's going to get very tough here because Motif, you know, they also are going to be pretty, not, I wouldn't want to say desperate, but it's going to get a little bit more tense here to try and take the zone back. We are trading 1-for-1s here, and we are close to this flip, to this knockout point. There comes the Zipcaster from Red Shell. Is that going to end it up? It might.
But look,
The zone. Motif left the zone alone. And Lethal Company employees got the knockout. Oh my god.
Dark Motif, they were winning that fight, and they had the pencil painting the zone, but I believe it was Henlo still counter-painting what the pencil was doing. And I mean, 3 days ago, I bet the pencil would have won, but this time that was enough for Lethal Company to get the lead and get the KO by a hair. I mean, Dark Motif was surrounding the zone, simply fighting and not painting.
Dude, that, like, the zone was on the smidge, the very edge of getting capped. Not, well, neutralized, excuse me.
Yeah.
And, like, it's kind of crazy just how down to the hair, like, down to the wire that was. It's ridiculous, and that also makes it all the more entertaining. Lethal Company employees get to have another check on these rounds here as we move on to Hagglefish Market Zones. Dang, y'all can't be pulling out these maps that are just this good. But again, a little bit of backline bias, methinks.
Yeah, I mean, both of these games were very close, were down to a drop of ink that we just saw right there. It was down to nothing, but both times it was Lethal Company coming back on top. Now Dark Motif. Now it's a completely different game for Dark Motif. Earlier they could tell themselves, okay, we are on even ground, we are about the same level, we are about the same painting power. Now Dark Motif, despite being so close to Lethal Company, they have a mountain to climb, they have to do so much. And they have to create a surprise on Hagglefish Market, the map that has been probably the most played in this Splatoon 3 game. We've seen this map every tournament, every set of top level Hagglefish Market has come by.
Oh my goodness, it's just such a good map. It's been here since the beginning. You know, this is the beloved. This is the map. I personally, I see Haggle on a similar footing as Mako personally. As in, you know, how fun they are to play during zones maps. And I feel like this is going to be perfect. I mean, both teams have their pencils, both teams have well, one team has their blaster, you know, you have a brush on the other. Yeah. I think both of these teams are still going to be thriving on this map one way or another.
Yeah, and that Zipcaster coming from Red Shell is going to be key into shutting down what Lethal Company can do. And well, never mind, no Zipcaster. Red Shell is bringing the roller, the vanilla roller, to, I mean, big bubbler onto these zones gives you the zone, and that's always a good thing to have.
Absolutely here. I also want to note that Duck Motif actually changed up a little bit, and they're running double cooler. Which is really interesting here. They're opting to bring double cooler and set up a different special here that could possibly help with the zone, which is very interesting. Using the, like, basically using the sheer strength of their weapons in order to get back in, which is which is an interesting approach. It's not new. It's not something uncommon, but it's still like, whoa, it's happening.
It's a strategy that is used more and more. Lots of teams like to try it and make it work. I always feel like it's a bit risky because once your opponent is in control, you like the pushing tool. And right now, Lethal Company are very much in control, and Dark Motif, struggling to push, are very much in danger right now. They need to get in, they need to get onto the zone and paint it. As Red Shell drops to the side with the roller and is trying to get in there. 25 sticks left onto the zone. Dark Motif needs to get in, Fufu.
They gotta get in here. They do have this bubble in their favor, and that zone capping just barely here, stopping that count at 13. Took a couple picks, but it looks like Lethal Company employees are fighting right back just as fast as they recap the zone within a couple seconds here, able to just get that picking power on the field. I believe they did get 2 picks right then there, and that was just enough to stop the force of Duck Motif. So that's going to come out getting 2 with it, and opting to push a little more forward. Nope, it's opting to step a little bit more back, but you know, those picks are already going to be huge here for Lethal Company employees. But we turn our eyes for a second, and Duck Motif is in control of the zone again.
Yeah, Lethal Company, it seemed like they were playing for the KO, but right now they're very happy to simply see the penalty applied as long as they stay on the map. As I say that, they lost 2 players and they're moving back into their spawn. Duck Motif finally able to break the defense, to go in and put themselves up, and very, very nice snipe on to Bazooka by Kira right there. Kira is going on with that Squeezer, showing that Squeezer is still a top tier weapon, and with Bazooka that's going to be more splats. Kira is not stopping!
They have no signs of it either. They are going ham. This is where we're going to be seeing this double cooler absolutely excel here on this offense from Duck Motif. But I think as we're saying that, yeah, we're seeing Lethal Company basically get their last ditch effort and just trying to go in. Are they going to be able to cap this though against the force of Duck Motif? They're able to take 2 members off of Duck Motif and capping it. Still holding their lead by a singular point.
Almost a comeback by Duck Motif, but the Lethal Company again able to get back in there, win the painting fight, and forcing Duck Motif to get more fights. Red Shell getting in there with the roller, gets 1, doesn't get the second though, and all of Duck Motif are still trying to fast. Kira activating Bazooka, forcing everybody to move away as Duck Motif paints the zone again, applies penalty, keeping themselves alive in this set.
Oh my goodness, it's going to get incredibly tense here because both of these teams are going to be fighting either to knock out or just to get the lead here, and it is down to the wire once more. These teams are pushing these games as far as they can, and listen, we only have a minute left here, and we've been almost going back and forth on this zone here. It's gonna get a little scrappy here, if you ask me.
Yep, right now Duck Motif know what they need to do. Bubbler onto the zone, that's going to give them the flip again, but they have a huge penalty to come back from. 1 minute to do so. Rachel getting in there with the roller. Oh, he's punished. Rachel was out of ink.
Oh, that one hurts. Running out of ink when you have a kill right in front of you is probably the worst feeling. I can't even lie.
And right now, Lethal Company, they're on a victory lap. They almost got no penalty. There's almost no time left. Duck Motif is going to have to scramble their way to the zone. It's not working. No more penalty. It's Lethal Company looking to end this. Who painted the zone? Okay.
Pencil. Average pencil behaviors on zone. We are also seeing that bubble come out on the field that might give Duck Motif the paint they need, and doing so, especially because they were able to take basically delay wipe all the members of Lethal Company employees. Duck Motif has one last chance to bring this home. Lethal Company employees have a lot to get through right here, especially because this is where we're going to be seeing this double cooler excel, and there's their first one for Duck Motif. If they can hold this and just bring this down to 3, not even knocking out, down to 3, it could be Duck Motif's game.
Yeah, Duck Motifs only need to hold for a few more seconds. They're not that far behind as Lethal Company employees are throwing everything they can to get onto that zone. The Kraken is on the zone. Everybody's trying to paint, and the pencil is trying to paint against everybody, but it's not enough. Once again, Lethal Company employees win it by a hair.
Oh my goodness, forcing that neutral hand there at the end. It's like, despite being pretty knocked out there, Lethal Company employees seeing this through, grabbing that neutral and taking this home with a 3-0 set. Incredible stuff.
I mean, I feel like Lethal Company were the better team here, obviously, as they showed. But this didn't feel like a 3-0. Lethal Company can be pretty happy that they got away with a 3-0 right here. That's going to help them in the placement. That's going to help them in the following games. They come in with momentum.
Absolutely. These teams are fighting for those top two spots in groups to move to top cut. So any win in this round is going to be huge. You know, you get that head start. You know, it's all good things come for the winners on these rounds.
Yeah, we'll see how things go, and we'll see a different game very soon, right after this break.